All right then, after a week in Perth, thank you very much Perth, lovely to be there. We're back to the workshop and we're back on this 650, actually two 650s. So, interesting development. As you know, this is a Bitzer, obviously disc brakes front and rear designed to help stop that high performance engine, slow down rather than crashing into stuff. So, as you know, this frame was not actually originally set up with a disc rear end. It was set up with a drum rear end. How do I know this? Because there should be two mounting points here for a brake master cylinder. Now, I've double checked this frame. There isn't one. They've sort of bodged this piece of angle iron together. Kind of works. I double checked this one as well. Nothing here. I double checked that one. Nothing there, which means this is a drum. That one was a drum, as you can see. I checked that frame as well, which was the 650F. And we'll just take a look over there. No mounting point there either for a disc style master cylinder for the rear. But what I did find is a bit of a fluke. On my customer's bike down here, that's a 77 and that's a drum. We know that. So again, no accommodation for a master cylinder to fit in here. But what I found on the 78, this is a May of 78 build we've been putting together, and that's the engine that's been overboard as well. And lo and behold, checking out the frame, what I found was this, as I navigate my way through this obstacle course. That is the correct rear master cylinder and correct disc brake back wheel setup for this particular model, for the C model. So this is the only frame that has accommodation for this master, which is really convenient. Also, little surprise that's not shown here is while I was in Perth, I picked up what I think is an original exhaust, a Kawasaki exhaust for this model. They were on the C model, this is a 650C, and they were on the F model, which is that one with the blue paint on the end, and they weren't fitted to any other ones, and we've managed to find one from the US that came over on an imported bike. The new owner doesn't want the pipes. He's going with the 4-into-1 option, which is a pretty common modification, and I purchased them. So I got those checked as checked-in baggage on the flight back from Perth to Sydney. So well done, Virgin. You'll get a tag in the video as well. They arrived in perfect condition. So this bike is going to be pretty original. We have original coils up in the bucket over there, which you can't see. The instruments are being done by Lionel Otto. We've just discovered that that same donor bike up there with the double disc front end was already set up with these calipers. So those are literally bolt off the other bike, bolt onto here, new front master cylinder, which is a really nice surprise. We'll do all the fine tuning on that obviously over the next few days, but you'll see that in the upcoming videos. Also, the indicators, stalks, as I mentioned in the last video, all come off of that bike because they're not right for that bike, but they are correct for this. As did the headlight rubbers, the headlight bucket, and gave us a guide for the side panel wiring in there, which I just started roughing in. So this should come together pretty fast. I'm really happy with finding all of these pieces. So this one, we're going to go with the original style grips. If you don't know what they are, let me show you. Here's one I prepared earlier, he says, not having prepared it earlier. Should just be down here. Yep, this is the OE style grip from the C model onwards. That will focus. There we go. So we're going to go with these grips. It's period correct. It's going to give it a nice look as well because the aftermarket ones don't look like this. They're more of a ridge style. Yeah, like that. These are aftermarket replacements. Nothing wrong with those, but these have a kind of a good vibe to them. So this is that's the throttle side. Got a little bit of a bulge. They look really retro, kind of cool. This bike here had already had the throttle cable and, tacho drive cable and speedo cable replaced. They're in perfectly good serviceable condition. This front end, so the forks will go on that bike I just showed you. just for consistency, because we know it's bolt on, bolt off, and these forks are in really good shape, so very happy with that. And this rear end, so the swing arm right here, as you can see, a little corrosion on there, but we've got 4 or 5 of these swing arms, and they're set up for slightly different style disc rear caliper. So we'll use this with the caliper that we've got, and that should complete that bike in terms of braking and performance. Like I say, that was the style that was fitted to this, but it's just bodged on there, so not correct. So this is really good news. So for the new owner of that 650 down there, he's getting a lot of period correct parts. This is the correct setup for his bike, so disc front and rear, and with that high performance engine, that's exactly what you want. So that's going to go, as they say, like a scalded cat. So meow. Anyway, lots more videos to come, including an update tomorrow. We've got another stash of Z650 parts coming in, so a lot, like really a lot, probably 6 meter by 4 meter trailer plus 2 more bikes, which will complete the missing parts for the drum rear ends here. So that's a drum, that one's complete, that needs a drum. The 2 wheels you just see over there are also drums in the back, so we'll complete all of that. It also comes with a shed load of engines, other bodywork, stuff like this that's all missing from these other bikes. And we have a leftover exhaust, which was removed from that bike, that will go on to power something that's quite probably that same engine, but just in a different frame over here. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Most of it's 650 related at the moment, but I don't want you to think I've forgotten our Z1000 over there. That is very close to being out the door. We've got 1 bad coil. We've only got 2 of the 4 cylinders firing, which is annoying, but quite easily fixed. So once that's done, that goes down and gets its blue slip. Everything else is good. Starts, runs, etc. Brakes are all tidy and crisp now. So that's all done. And then the update on the CB750. You haven't seen much of an update happening because it's all been behind the scenes. That lump is being built next week by BC Performance. Yay, Chris and the team. And then that lump goes in there, and basically we put the front end together, vapor blast the rear hub, vapor blast the forks. I've got all of the disc brakes and everything all ready to go, and then that will come together. Correct wiring harness, instruments already done, oil tank already done, new rims in there, chain guard, loads of parts just waiting to go right on there. So in short order, that will go. That will go out for a blue slip very soon once we get that coil problem fixed. Obviously 650s galore, so 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. 1 there, which is the black police one. We're waiting on some bracket fabrication. This one, which is the civilian one, just there. Plus a whole pile of 650 stuff down there. So lots and lots of stuff going on. So bear with me, apologies for the lack of updates, but we're back. And tons of stuff going on at the shop. So catch you in the next video. Hope you're having a fantastic weekend and lots more to do, so crack on.